The PXL 2000 camcorder, and you can see this is actually made by Fisher Price, so the toy company. This was somewhat more marketed towards children, but at the time, it was a really cheap way to get video. To get a video camcorder. It was a good third of the price or less of all other camcorders at the time. Obviously, there were some cutbacks. This thing actually saves to cassette tape. So we'll get into that after I look at this box. The box is in amazing condition. Like, clearly someone opened this, used it once or twice, and just put it back in the box and left it in a closet since 1987. This thing is as old as I am. And, yeah, the only thing that's missing from the box is the actual cassette tape and the batteries that would have come with it. Everything else was in the box. So this is how it came to me, and it's in great condition. Surprisingly, with how old this thing is, you would expect all the belts would be, dried up and cracked, and that it just wouldn't work, and that the battery contacts would all be corroded and all that. But surprisingly, getting this right out of the box, throwing batteries in it, and turning it on, it worked. It actually worked. I was able to shoot video with it and record it. It took me a while to get everything hooked up to where I could watch that back, but it did work. There's actually 2 battery compartments. There's one here and one on the front. This one takes 2, and this one has 4, so it's a total of 6 AA batteries that it beats through like candy. You can see this little wobbly microphone knob on the front, and we've got a lens here, which is basically just a cheap little pinhole camera lens like you'd see on a cell phone, and it's got a real thick ND filter you can turn on if you're outside. When I got this, it did have a very fogged up piece of glass in front of that. It was the IR filter, which I removed, so technically this will get a lot of infrared if you try and shoot outside, but it still looks fine. I find it, at least after removing that, it actually gets the best footage indoors, and it seems to pick up light much better after removing that. I've seen a lot of people complain about how dark the image is, but it seemed to do just fine. So I moved over to my computer desk here, and you can see I've got this wonky adapter hooked up here. This will be very familiar if you played video games back in the days of the NES, or really tried to hook anything to a TV back then. So I was very surprised to find out that my pretty new 4K sharp TV just happens to support analog input still for some reason. So let's go ahead and get this hooked up. Alright, so I've got my TV set to the old school analog over-the-air style TV, and I've set it to channel 3, which of course is what you used to plug your old VCR into and stuff. And let's just go ahead and give this a play. I've went ahead and rewound the tape. And there we go. This is something I shot earlier today walking up my steps. And you can hear the sound of the tape mechanism in there really loud. That is just pervasive in any audio you get from the camera. But yeah, there's my cat. And I've got a really dark line there in the middle. I'm assuming that's probably the read and write heads are probably really dirty on this thing. That's how this thing does, and this is all playing off of a regular audio cassette tape. Now, what's pretty cool is you can see just how fast this is spinning. This is spinning 9 times faster than an audio cassette tape would. So that was off of cassette tape. This guy right here is what we were playing that off of. You can see we're already like a third through the tape, basically. Yeah, but what's cool is you can actually, if you flip this switch on the back up, this is basically live record mode. And I think you do still have to have a tape in it, but it won't record to it. And that's just to get the mechanism to where it'll allow you to hit record. But if it's in this mode, it shouldn't record. Let's just make sure. Here we go. And let me turn my TV down real quick, so as to not get any echo. There we go. So this is the live video feed coming directly from the camera. There's my ugly mug. And you can see it, sorry, there we go. You can see it doesn't do a great job, but it's not terrible. I mean, if you hook up an external recorder to this or something, I mean, this wouldn't look half bad. So that's the PXL 2000. I feel like I got a heck of a deal on this thing. I'm going to be trying to restore it further, so stay tuned on my, I guess on my blog that I've not used in like 6 years for pictures and things of that nature. Perhaps I'll post more videos once I get it cleaned up, and maybe it can do a little better job recording to the tape. We saw I had a lot of artifacts there, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching.